Shri Sai Ram. Offering my loving pranams at Bhagawan's lotus feet, respected elders, brothers and sisters, Sai Ram to all. In the 1960s, there were a few devotee boys who would live next to Swami's residence in Vrindavan. During the day, they would attend classes at the Bangalore University, and then they would come and sing bhajans and listen to Swami. So when Swami announced he was going to open a college, everyone assumed it would be a college for the boys. Swami then went on to say this would be the first of the Sri Sathya Sai educational institutions. It would be a college for women. People were wondering, this doesn't make logical sense. There are boys here already, there is a hostel, and it would only be easier to open a college for the men. But Swami would not listen. He said, it is important to open a college for women. Swami went on to explain to those around him that the womb of a woman is the realm of the divine. It is Brahmaloka. This is where creation happens. A woman not only carries the child for 9 months, but also feeds and nurtures the child. That is why it was very important to get women to be inspired to lead the right path. Swami has often said, women are the repositories of virtue, love and sacrifice. They are the very foundation of the morality of a nation. How beautifully he has placed his trust in all of us. It is Swami's love that flows through us in our small acts of kindness, in the love that we share with those around us. How often have we heard of an auntie, a didi or akka who helps to make prasadam during the bhajans, who goes and visits the sick, who teaches bhajans to the children, and therefore makes the center a vibrant place and holds the community together. Very often, while men take the center stage, it is the women who are behind the scenes, helping to push the mission forward, helping to keep everybody together as one team. Swami himself recognized the power of this Shakti. In one of the very first discourses, the Dasara of 1949, Swami said, ladies are under the mistaken notion that their lives are to tend to their families. They think they are mere puppets in the hands of men. A lady is an empress full of powers. She has the power not only to take care of her own path, but to lead her entire family on the right path. God has given you both body and soul. The body is for service of the world, while the soul is for God. What a powerful statement! The body is for the service of the world, while the soul is for God. We have such a compassionate God. He tells us what to do. He is always around listening, ever ready to answer when we are in trouble. I would like to share a small incident that happened recently. It so happened that I was not keeping well. I had a throat infection and a high temperature. The fever was very exhausting and I would sleep for a long time, just wake up and have liquids in between. At one point when I woke up, it was very painful. The throat was all sore, and because of the fever also there was all body ache, and I was just thinking, Swami, this pain is too much to handle. And I woke up and just reached out for the hot water flask that I used to keep on the bed, and I picked it up and took a sip as usual. To my surprise, it felt very different. So I took another sip, this time trying to understand what was different. Within a few seconds I realized it felt like there was vibhuti in the water. So then I thought maybe somebody at home has mixed some vibhuti in the water, thinking that it would make me feel better. So I just took the water, and after a while when I felt a little better, I asked my daughter, Bhakti, did you put some vibhuti in the water? And she said, no, I did not even come into the room. Then I thought, okay, maybe it was my husband. So then I asked my husband, did you put some vibhuti in the water? He also had no idea. He said, what are you talking about? And he quickly came and he emptied the remaining water into a glass. To our surprise, there was quite a bit of vibhuti in that water which was remaining. And it had a very strong fragrance as well. Very different to what vibhuti was there at home. It was just a call out from my side saying, Swami, this pain is too much to handle. And he immediately responded. It is little incidents like this which make me feel that we are so blessed that we are able to speak to him, we are able to talk to him, and he is also showing that he is there. He is always listening to us. Dear brothers and sisters, let us take this opportunity, make this bond stronger, speak to Swami through the day, share everything that we have. And I am sure all of us will feel more connected, we will hear from him, and we will continue to be blessed. We are lucky to have such inspiring examples of women who are such glowing icons of devotion. I would like to talk about two such inspirational women who are blessed to be around Bhagawan in the early days. Karnam Subamma was a devout woman. She was well respected in the village. She was considered as the head woman of the village. She was from a Brahmin family and she would like to cook for Swami and she would carry food for him every day, make sure that he eats on time. One such day, she cooked food, she carried breakfast with her and she went into the hills because Swami was in the hills at that time, the hills behind the village. She went all over searching for him. When she found him, she told him, please have idli, I made idli for you. Swami was in a very playful mood then. He said, I don't want idli, I want to eat vada. Subamma opened another box and she said, I have vada too. Swami went on to say, actually I feel like eating upma. Now Subamma had another box which had upma in it. Again Swami said, I want to eat dosa. She had yet another box which had dosa as well. Now hearing this story, some of us may think, poor Subamma, how much she had to do, why was Swami teasing her and making it so difficult for her? Swami has actually addressed this. So, in one of the discourses that I have heard when I was a child and seated in the Sai Kulwant hall, I heard Swami say this story and he went on to explain. Some of you may be thinking that I was troubling Subamma a lot. No, I wasn't troubling her. I only did this so that I can tell this story to show all of you how thoughtful Subamma was, how in tune with me, that she knew exactly what I would need, exactly what I would ask, and she was always prepared. When some miscreants lit fire to Swami's hut, Subamma decided enough was enough. She bought a piece of land and she gifted that to Swami. She helped put some money and build a mandir, a bhajan hall where Swami could stay. This was the Pata Mandiram. This was the first residence of Bhagawan. So strong was her bond with Swami. Her love was so strong that Swami had promised her that he would be there when she had her last moments. It so happened that Subamma passed away when Swami was not in Puttaparthi. Those around her knew of this promise and they decided that they would send a message to Swami. The message was sent and they kept the body on ice. In those days, it was very difficult to travel, so it was actually 3 days before Swami came back to Puttaparthi. A lot of the neighbors, a lot of the relatives were actually not happy about this. They started to complain saying, there are ants coming for the body, it is already too late, we should do the cremation. But those who were close to her decided that they would hold on and wait till Swami is back. And after 3 days when Swami came, he entered the room, he called out lovingly, Subamma, Subamma. To everybody's amazement, Subamma opened her eyes and lifted her head. Swami then took a glass of water, blessed it, poured it into her mouth, 3 sips of holy water into her mouth, and then she passed away with a blissful smile. This is the love between the Lord and his devotee. She called out, he made a promise, and he was there. Another very inspirational figure was Doddamane Sakamma. She was a coffee planter and a philanthropist who was honored with the title Lokaseva Parayani, meaning the one who is devoted to the service of society. This was a title given to her by the then Maharaja of Mysore. Sakamma was one of the very first devotees from Bangalore. In fact, when Swami would visit Bangalore, he would stay at her house. When she visited Puttaparthi, she would take upon herself the task of ensuring Swami's well-being, whether he has eaten on time, whether he is getting sufficient rest. In fact, all of the devotees would be very scared of Sakamma because she was very strict when it came to Swami's schedule. She would try to ensure that he has sufficient time to himself to get enough sleep and so on. One such time when Sakamma was looking around for Swami, she walked into a room where Swami was actually addressing a few devotees. And Swami, anticipating that she was coming, quickly hid behind the door. Now Sakamma entered the room looking for him, and before anybody could point out, Swami signaled saying, "Don't tell her." So everybody was quiet. Sakamma was asking, "Did you see Swami? Did you see Swami?" Nobody responded because Swami was clearly saying, "Stay quiet." And she went away. She was genuinely concerned about his rest, but knowing how Swami was, he wanted to spend as much time with the devotees, talking to them, answering questions, doubts, solving people's problems. That is the ever-loving God that we have. During those days, what used to happen, there were no rooms, so all the devotees would set up their camp under trees around Swami's residence. There would be like one family who would be under one tree and the next under the next tree. So they would keep all their belongings, they would cook there and they would sleep there. They would spend their day with Swami, and night, that was the place where they would rest. One such time, Radhamma and her family were under one tree, and suddenly in the night, Radhamma was woken up. When she woke up, she saw it was Swami who was waking her, and he said, "Radhamma, I am very hungry. Can you make me a dosa?" Radhamma was very surprised, but she was very happy because it was very rare that they would get to cook for Swami. It was usually Sakamma who would cook for him. So quickly she woke up and she made a dosa for him. He ate it up and he asked for another one. Now Radhamma was a little worried because the sound when you put the dosa on the pan, it would make a sizzling sound. So she was worried that the others would wake up. And then Swami said, "Don't worry, it won't make any sound." And to her surprise, when she actually poured the batter, it did not make the sizzling sound. So she quickly made a couple of dosas without the sizzling sound because Swami made sure there was no sound then. And Swami ate the dosas and left. She was very happy and then she went to bed. Next morning, when everybody was seated and Sakamma brought breakfast for Swami, Swami refused to take anything. He was not even taking a little bit. So she kept trying to offer different dishes and Swami said no. So then she said, "Why is it? Are you not eating anything? What is wrong?" And then what Swami said? This is the playful Lord, He likes to play around sometimes. So he said, "How can I eat? My stomach is very full. This Radhamma, she woke me up in the night and she fed me so many dosas." Now Radhamma was shocked because she was very scared of Sakamma. Seeing her fear, Swami then laughed and said, No, don't worry. It was me who went and woke her up. I felt like eating dosas. So I asked her to make some dosas. Everybody had a hearty laugh. But this was how deep Sakamma's care and concern for Swami was, that she was willing to, be the policeman, making sure that he has everything in time, getting enough rest and, taking care of his health. The local people were not very welcoming and were hostile towards Swami and his devotees. So in 1948, Sakamma took some efforts, made some enquiries and purchased land outside of the village, away from the local population, and presented it to Swami. Prasanthi Nilayam, the Abode of Peace, Swami's residence, was indeed a gift of love from Sakamma. Today, we are on the brink of Swami's 100th birthday. What is it that we can gift to Bhagawan? Can we gift him a residence in our hearts? Can we serve him food? What is Swami's food? Swami has always said, "Love is my form, truth is my breath, and bliss is my food. If we are blissful first, if we can make our homes, our families blissful, then we can serve Swami with food. Today, in this fast and noisy world, where loneliness and fear grow faster than love, what is it that we need to do as instruments of Swami? To be His hands and heart means if we can offer a smile to someone who is sad, if we can cook with love for the hungry, if we can tend to children with patience, if we can care for our families as an act of worship, even small acts done with love carry a lot of power. Swami would often say, hands that help are holier than lips that pray. Very easy it sounds, but it takes a lot to put it into action. Dear sisters, grace is not something that we wait for, it is something that we become. When we love selflessly, when we serve without expectation, when we forgive, these are instances when we are examples of His love in motion. Swami, let my hands be your hands. Let my heart be your heart. Let my life be your message of love. Jai Sai Ram.